So, all right, everyone, we sit here gathered together on this day of curbaceousness, and we're going to talk about the cosmic horror that hides in plain sight, I would say, but under many people's noses, as it turns out, within the Kirby franchise, the cutesy little facade that it presents to hide the deep hunger for reality and all-consuming void within. So you got the little guy right here. You've definitely seen Kirby before. Have you ever played a Kirby game? Either of you? Have you ever?
I played Smash Bros.
I say Kirby's who I main on Smash Bros.
You've definitely seen your share of Kirby there. The guy who created Kirby also created the Smash Bros. Franchise.
Oh.
So interesting factoid of the day. Not that there won't be more.
Yeah. Well, Kirby.
We do love Kirby here. We gotta love the little guy. He's precious. He's a being that you must protect, but yet perhaps the being should be protecting us.
The low P.
Yeah. So as I was asking, I mean, you don't know too much about Kirby, I would suppose, as far as what happens in his games when you're playing a Kirby game, what he goes up against. I mean, there's basic things I think a lot of people know, right? King DDD, Meta Knight, those characters, the sort of side characters. I bet if you saw him, you'd recognize him. Meta Knight's like the guy with the sword, the little guy with the bat wings. DDD is the big buffoon, like the penguin looking guy that is sort of the benevolent but yet greedy king of Dreamland. They're just sort of characters that are sort of enemies, sort of not, that Kirby goes up against in his quest to defeat cosmic aberrations. But that's the long and short of it. I mean, that's the foundation of Kirby that I think most people would be able to say they knew. But my thesis today, what I'm here to tell the lot of you and all y'all listening today, is that Kirby is not what he seems. If you weren't aware, you're going to be aware of that. He's presented as this cheerful, bright, simple character. I mean, very kid-friendly, you would think. Very, like,
just
mascot.
a little guy.
Right,
He's just a little guy.
You look at that guy smiling, and you're just like, aw, right?
Yeah.
My mom used to tell me she got Kirby Air Ride for me and my brother at a game store when we were just little guys. And I remember the way she told me about why she picked that game to give to us was because, like, the guy on the cover just looked cute, right?
Yeah.
He just looked like this little guy, right? And the funny thing about that is a bit of a tangent I'm going to delve into, but there's an interesting thing about Kirby where in the Japanese homeland where he's from, his covers are very cutesy. He's just very laughing it up and looking and making these little puppy dog eyes. The American covers, they realized our market was a little more like macho. So they thought, oh, this cute little puffball is not going to sell. So they gave him angry eyes in every American variant of the cover. And this is a documented phenomenon you can find evidence of online.
So Kirby's a boy. Is that what you're saying?
He is a boy.
Okay.
A lot of people are confused about the gender of Kirby or whether he even has a gender at all. His pronouns are he, him, as far as I'm aware. I don't know if that has anything to do with biology. Maybe it's beyond our comprehension. There may be no gender to speak of.
Okay.
I
always assumed that Kirby had no gender.
But yeah,
I can't find any reason he should have a gender, but apparently he, him. So
okay. He, him.
The initial conflicts in Kirby games, as we've discussed, are often pretty petty. It's just King DDD making some mischief, stealing some food, or something interrupting Kirby's nap. That's about the extent of your typical Kirby plot at the start of things. It's never for some great reason that Kirby embarks on a quest. Or if it is, it doesn't seem that way at the start.
Okay.
What I think about Kirby in general is that this presentation, which I'm going to use the term spring breeze for, because that's something you hear in the game sometimes. Like there's something, one of the Kirby games used the name spring breeze for the gameplay campaign. I think that's sort of their general term for everything seems to be so happy and springy. And I think the spring breeze is a facade. And it completely masks this grim underlying series of themes that the series has. It's totally a cosmic horror trope. The fact that you see this in cosmic horror, like Lovecraft stories where ignorance is safety, you're better off not knowing what's out there in the universe or what reality itself really is, the human existence really is. Just enjoy your spring breeze and don't contemplate that Yog-Sothoth is out there waiting to consume your soul. And that's the Kirby series. I think it does the same in this slightly subtler way than a Lovecraft story might, yet it does it.
Okay. I'm interested to see.
We're going to explore deeply into the Kirby series today. A lot of different plot lines that are in the Kirby games, some things that he goes up against, and what they might imply. So just to start out talking about Kirby lore, a lore about lore, if you will, is that most of the lore to be found in Kirby games is within these pause menu screens, which you have to discover and read yourself as the player. Like if you pause the game, it'll often bring up this blurb about what's happening right now that explains in a little bit of greater detail than you might glean by playing it. This is what's going on, lore-wise. And it's not essential to the game. You would never even learn something or another if you didn't pause the game while you're playing. So it creates this sense that in my mind is almost like opening forbidden knowledge. Like you have to do it voluntarily. I put a little Necronomicon picture there because that's what it makes me think of. You're delving into the books of the damned. It's not for everyone. You can play the game without ever learning everything, or you can go on a deep dive, pause the game every frame you possibly can, and learn all the dark secrets there are to learn.
That's crazy.
That's just how it's presented.
Love it.
Here's an example of one of those pause screens from, I believe this is Kirby Star Allies on the Switch. This had a lot of lore. This game, I don't know how well it was received, but for the lore, it was huge. So you're just fighting this dark clone of Wispy Woods the Tree, who's a very recurring, usually pretty petty boss in the Kirby series. Just this angry tree, right? The lore here is that the fabric of space-time has broken down, creating 4 rifts to another dimension. Each of these rifts leads to an unholy incarnation of a past foe like Wispy Woods. The rotten, blighted arbor has been imbued with terrible new power. So you're playing the game, fighting a tree. You wouldn't think anything of it, but now you learned, oh, there's voids that have opened in space-time. There's like something coming through from the other side, corrupting the tree and creating this evil version of it. What is going on here?
Yeah.
Who wrote this? I want to know who wrote this for sure. But that's just an example of what you'll discover when you go looking into the deep annals of Kirby lore by pausing the game when you maybe wouldn't have to. That's how you discover these things.
Are they pretty common when you pause, or is it?
Yeah, at a certain point. I mean, you kind of have to get further along in the game before you start getting the big drops in a game like that. A lot of times it's just like, here's how you play the game, or here's a random fact about something in this little level you're playing. But it gets to the point where it starts mentioning like, at the start of time, there were evil entities and stuff like that. That it just like opens up the floodgates of this lore. But here we go. We talked about the spring breeze thing. This is just what I wanted to present that. Like, I mean, these are images from Kirby, right? The Kirby universe, what it looks like.
It looks like a Furby. And then the hamster looks like that little, there was a hamster show on Cartoon Network several years ago. Started with T. That hamster looks like that.
Are you thinking of Hamtaro?
Yeah, I think so.
I remember
Hamtaro. Yeah, it was
Hamtaro. Yeah. That hamster's name is Rick, and he's one of my favorite beings in the Kirby universe.
His name's Rick?
Yeah, his name is Rick. Rick the hamster. He has recently had a huge resurgence on the internet as far as popularity goes, because the game Air Riders has come out, and he's a playable character, and a lot of people didn't know of him for this game, and they're just like, what's this hamster? I love him. He's like as fast as Sonic the Hedgehog. He can just rip roar across a planet in a few seconds. So very interesting and fun character. And he's just a hamster. I mean, he's a little guy having fun.
What about the Furby guy? Right? Is he a character, or is he just
the flying bird thing? This guy? Yeah. His name is Coo, I think. Coo the bird. This game, Kirby's Dream Land 2, had these companions that came with you, and they helped you like traverse different territories. So Rip Roar and Rick here let you go really fast when you're riding on Rick. You could get Coo the bird to take you through the air. This fish, I think his name is Kine. He had a very Japanese sounding name. I don't know why he did.
Looks like Magikarp.
Yeah, very Magikarp looking. He's just a fish guy that takes you through the water. Okay. And then a lot of Kirby art you'll find is like this, right? I mean, could not be more adorable. Like almost like so adorable you want to punch it. Yeah. And it's just like, look at these little guys just drifting down on their flowers, and Kirby with his little fairy wings, and you know,
I would commit murder for those guys.
Yeah, you would think nothing is lurking in this world that has darkness within its heart. But we're going to talk about this world itself just to lay a foundation here. Kirby lives upon the planet Popstar. Here's an image of Popstar viewed from space. It's a literal star with these 2 rings around it. And it's a very strange planet. And I'm going to talk about how it's strange. But I mean, it's a beautiful, like placid world of not much of anything evil going on, right? It's the site of nearly every Kirby game. It's a star-shaped, resplendent planet. It does have a strange non-Euclidean appearance because it's not a round planet as seen from space. It's actual star-shaped. But when you sort of approach it, it turns from this cratered star appearance to actually having continents and water and green landscapes. So somehow it presents this star image to the outward observer as if that's like a cloak, as if that's like something the outside world might see from a distance and think nothing of. And yet when you get nearer, you reveal that it is this like Eden. So makes you wonder. This isn't official lore I'm talking about right now, but my theory in my head is that maybe something was engineered that way to hide this planet from the outside universe, because the outside universe is dark and hungry. And that's just what I have to think when I think about it.
Yeah, because it looks like craters. It doesn't look like there'd be any life on it, and then you go close and there is life.
Yeah, so it's like it's like Wakanda or like the place that Wonder Woman is from, where like you're not supposed to find it.
Yeah,
it just looks like nothing from the outside. Popstar, due to its natural beauty and its energy, it's frequently the target of villainous alien invaders who Kirby and his friends must fight off time and time again. Over the Kirby series, it has been subjugated under complete darkness, and it's been mechanized under evil machinery, but it seemed to recover both of those times.
Okay, that's good.
It looks lovely.
Yeah, I mean, it's always back to looking lovely by the time the saga is complete, but people want to just take Popstar. I mean, they see this like green jewel in the universe, and I mean,
so
I guess
that star appearance isn't working.
It's not working, clearly.
You're figuring it out. Okay.
Yeah, but they want to take it for themselves, turn it into something twisted. Dreamland seems to be the main setting within Popstar. It's not one in the same with the planet Popstar, but it is maybe like a sovereign country within Popstar. Best I can glean. DDD being the king of Dreamland and Kirby living there amidst the Waddle Dees, which are the prominent species, these guys here. It's a very peaceful land, carefree populace, abundant resources. Nothing could go wrong, right? And their currency is called the D-Bill, DDD's official issued currency.
Every time I hear Waddle Dee, I just want to get D's nuts joke.
You know what that...
cursed.
I just randomly remembered something I saw where there was a Kirby cafe in Japan, and they were serving some kind of fried, like, I don't know if it was like an octopus ball. I know that's something they eat in Japan, like an octopus little croquette. But they were just referring to it as Waddle Dee's fried balls.
Why?
And you can find the menu, like pictures of it that just says Waddle Dee's fried balls. You want to eat that?
Oh, no.
So maybe the Waddle Dees are in some kind of danger. I mean, that's being produced. But when we get to talking about what is assailing the spring breeze world here, dark matter has besieged this planet again and again for many, many eons. This thing called dark matter that is just pure darkness just wants to cover the land in the dark. And these are some incarnations of it that you can see right here. Basically icky eyeballs and black voids that came from space just to take. It seeks to shroud the whole planet of Popstar in darkness. It plots a future of darkness for Dreamland itself. It attacked Popstar, some say, out of jealousy for the inhabitants' lifestyle, and also perhaps because nobody wanted to be friends with it. So it just lashed out. It's this thing from space that's just drifting, right? I mean, it doesn't really have anything else, and it just wants to...
Who wants to be friends with something that shoots darkness?
You would think not. I mean, maybe you just needed a hug.
Yeah, no, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah, you know. And it did, at one point, possess King DDD. Took his body for itself. It staked its claim, and it haunted him. We'll talk about possessed DDD in a little bit, but we're going to talk about 0 and 02, which are the de facto leaders of the dark matter entities.
That definitely looks Lovecraftian.
Look at these things. This is what Kirby goes up against. These are things that exist in the same universe as the Waddle Dees. And they're just these eyes, these terrifying eyes looking down from space. And they seem to be sort of all-knowing, omniscient, hive mind entities that just control all the dark matter. You started out with 0, the original one, just the great white eye, and then you eventually had 02, his successor. which had these like wings and this weird sort of geometric appearance with a halo.
You say with a halo, kind of angel.
It's very angelic. Like people compare the 02 incarnation a lot to that show Neon Genesis Evangelion, which had like angels that came from space. They were really like aliens, I suppose, but they were just sort of Lovecraftian entities that looked a lot like 02 here. I think there's also an anime out there, I don't know which it is, that has a character called 02 in it that's very popular. So a lot of people make the joke that like, no, this was the original 02 right here. And that's what has.
Does he have blood coming out of his eye?
He does. He has a little like drip of blood from his eye. And he also, you can't see it in this picture, but 02 has a Band-Aid on the top of his head, implying that like the entity was damaged and somehow like tried to fix itself.
A Band-Aid.
He does have a little Band-Aid.
It's like a giant Band-Aid.
Yeah.
I kind of love that.
0, here he is right here. A red eye. I think the entity itself is the eye, not the white orb that it seems to rest within. It controls this thing that some say is a white nest from which all dark matter seems to spawn. That's just one theory about it. No one has known for sure whether the white is a part of 0. They just know that the red eye separates from the white and becomes this like true version of 0. So that might be the seed of his mind that can then rest within a dark, like a bigger thing. So after 0's death, he was killed by Kirby's love stick. That's the actual name of the weapon used to slay this beast. Another member of his species, perhaps, or a reincarnation, some say, was able to retake the white mass, and he became 02, the angelic version of 0. Here's a look at the DDD possessed by 0, where this is in this game, you know?
This stuff nightmares.
It's very nightmarish. Just seeing this guy, his usual lovable big oaf, his stomach just opens and becomes this gaping maw where the darkness has taken him and the eye is within. So, you know, little body horror.
Yeah.
Take a little body horror with your pink puffballs, if you please.
I love body horror. So
yeah, you will find it in Kirby aplenty.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell some stories about some different antagonists that have menaced the universe in Kirby games. And I've chosen the ones that I think are the deepest and most interesting, the most parallels to cosmic horror tropes within them. The story of Queen Sectonia took a special kind of interest to me because it's this story of being like haunted by the loss of your own identity and being corrupted by something until you just do not have yourself anymore. So remember this image. This is what she looks like when Kirby encounters her, this ethereal sort of queenly bee. Sectonia started out as a more spider-like being, not a bee or a wasp. Some say her name was Joronia. There's a very strong hint, I think, within the game, Kirby's Dream Buffet, which is just about Kirby eating a bunch, and yet it had lore drops. Taranza, who was the friend of Queen Sectonia, originally perhaps Joronia, gifted her something called the Dimension Mirror, which was a relic from the mirror world, another dimension. And in a classic cosmic horror kind of fashion, the mirror, it was not just a reflective surface for looking at oneself, but something corrupting, a window into madness. Oh, no. This mirror it appeared in a past Kirby game before it was involved with Queen Sectonia. There was a game called The Amazing Mirror, which is just about finding this mirror in the sky that led to another dimension where things are kind of twisted. Not an evil dimension, not just a dark, like evil reflection of the world, just another world that seemed kind of normalish, but yet seemed very vulnerable to corruption from the dark and did play host to these dark entities that we'll talk to in a minute. It is implied that Sectonia herself was corrupted by the dark influence of Dark Meta Knight, who did live in the mirror dimension and was trapped within the mirror. It slowly seeped into Sectonia's mind, and she was taken by the influence of this dark being that just existed to like cut down things and corrupt. So the mirror magnified her vanity, and it became a dangerous delusion for her. She became obsessed with achieving a perfect form, viewing her original self as insufficient. This was 1,000 years of this too. Like she became this pretty much immortal thing that started harrying the cosmos at every angle she could hit it from, to just take more for herself and become more beautiful by finding new bodies to jump into. So terrorizing the cosmos just for vanity because she was corrupted by the mirror. The mirror itself had dark Meta Knight within it. Dark Meta Knight was a sinister doppelganger of Meta Knight, who was usually an honorable warrior from the stars. In the show that used to be on TV, he sounded kind of like Antonio Banderas. He's just this very like, take my sword and I will fight on your side. He was from the mirror world, and he was an evil version of Meta Knight that just wanted to destroy. I think this is really interesting because it reminds me of the Black Lodge from Twin Peaks, where you confront your evil doppelganger, and if you don't face it with courage and it takes over you, it enters the world and does evil in your name. It also reminds me of Star Trek, where there's the mirror universe, where everything that's good is flipped on its head and becomes evil. So this is that version of Meta Knight, basically. And this is what happens within the mirror dimension. Mm-hmm. It's a place where what you're used to being good could be awful. And this corrupted Queen Sectonia. Over the course of 1,000 years, as we said, she used her magic to parasitize and possess countless other beings, discarding their bodies once she drained them or grew bored of their aesthetic. The elegant bee-like form she takes in Kirby Triple Deluxe, the game where she's encountered by Kirby, that's a stolen body, not her own. We don't even know where it came from, I think. She only inhabited it because she believed it represented true beauty. So maybe she's finally found what she was looking for, but yet still didn't know how to stop. Kept going because she just terrorized the cosmos eternally. By the time Kirby does encounter her, she's fed off of countless hosts to the point that she has completely forgotten her original form, no memory whatsoever. She's a collection of stolen traits and madness. So
fascinating.
Yeah. Lovecraftian as hell. It's something that started as just like, I wish I was more beautiful, and then corrupted by something cursed into becoming pure evil.
Yeah, wow.
And this is what she does eventually become. She eventually merges with a gigantic cosmic plant and becomes a threat to all reality. So
she is beautiful.
Yeah, you gotta admit,
She's still pretty.
Found some beauty if that's what she was looking for.
Not great what she's doing with it, but I mean, like, she found beauty.
And at the cost of her sanity, I suppose. But such is the price you pay. We're going to move on now to the tragedy of President Max Haltman. This guy right here, he's the president of a galactic corporation who has a very tragic and insane story.
Is this his whole body, or is he like sitting in a robot?
I think he's got a robot there. I think he kind of just took that as sort of like a mobile throne that he just goes around in, because he's just this little egghead. I mean, look at him in there.
Yeah.
He's not imposing. He wanted something imposing.
I like his mustache.
Yeah, he's got a very nice mustache. He's very dapper.
Yeah, he's a very
Monopoly
dapper
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, very like...
And a little bit Humpty Dumpty. Like,
You wouldn't think someone who looked like that would have this story ahead of him, but wait and see what he did. So Max Haltman was once a kind-hearted ruler and the CEO of the Haltman Works Company, Galactic Corporation. During a test of a space-time transport program, Haltman's daughter Susie was lost in another dimension.
Classic villain origin story or sad story.
Exactly. You hear that a lot in some different villain stories where like they fuck up and they lose their child.
Say like, what was it, Big Hero 6?
Yeah, I was just thinking of Big Hero 6. Yeah. And then also sort of Spider-Verse where like he was just trying to get his family back by like messing with other dimensions. So he's a bit like Kingpin.
Yeah.
Just like opening the reactor and letting cosmic horror through. So believing his daughter was dead, Haltman became obsessed with finding a way to bring her back. He turned to ancient blueprints to reconstruct a powerful mother computer known as Stardream. So this is what Stardream looks like over the course of this game. It starts out as this sort of winged pillar that seems to just have this glaring eye looking back at you. And eventually it merges with something called an access arc and becomes this gigantic cosmic face with these eyes that just stare through your soul. Like, look at that. It looks like those newer Beanie Babies that have the gigantic eyes.
Yeah.
And that little mouth, I mean, like, look at this thing. Would this thing hurt a fly? Do you think it would?
Looks like a manatee, like really close up or something.
Yeah, you know?
Kind of like seal or something.
Yeah, just a big seal. That's it exactly. It's a baby seal face.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together until now, but it looks like a baby seal just superimposed into this cosmic machine.
His pretty eyes.
So the question is, would it hurt a fly? And the answer is yes. It would hurt every fly there ever was. It was designed to study all sorts of life throughout the universe, and however, after its realization that life was an obstacle to the company's prosperity, it decided to destroy it all. So this is the Ultron of the Kirby universe. This is an apocalyptic machine that is just, it thinks it's obeying its creator's wishes, right? It thinks it's like just optimizing the company, but yet the best way to optimize is to destroy it. Through this organic body. This is something it says, like it speaks within the game, and I'm just going to read what it says. Let's put on voice for this guy. What do you think it sounds like? Through this organic body, I have studied all forms of life. The goal of this company has always been prosperity. Unfortunately, you imperfect, fragile life forms were a liability. So you are invited to witness the end of history. A new age shall begin, an age of infinite prosperity. Enjoy your destruction.
I love the voice. I pictured it being a very high-pitched baby voice.
Yeah.
And it's just saying like the most scary things possible. And you're like, oh no.
Yeah, I kind of went more James Spader there with the Ultron thing. But
it was great. I
could picture it also having just a very cutesy voice, like, enjoy your destruction.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know if it has a voice within the game itself. It's not voice acted, unfortunately. But I do think Stardream is an interesting creation because it is within a category of machines you see over the wider Kirby universe called clockwork stars. And clockwork stars are entities which were left by the Ancients. We're going to talk about the Ancients a lot more later, but this is your first taste of what they left behind in this universe that once belonged to the Ancients. Oh no, didn't mean to skip to you, Susie. But clockwork stars are amoral machines that are so powerful in their ability to influence the universe that they can rewrite and reprogram reality itself to effectively grant wishes based on the input of their administrator. They're completely amoral. They don't have a conscience of their own. They can't judge a wish as like unworthy and refuse to answer it. All they know how to do is just obey the administrator, and their influence can reach through reality itself to the furthest reaches and reprogram physics and space and everything there is to grant the wish of whoever asked it. So you can guess they can be pretty easily turned into weapons of mass destruction, right? So that's what that is. That's what he built, and it tried to destroy all life. The tragedy of Max Haltman really continues because he never recognized that his daughter Susie, when she did finally return, was his secretary. She started working for his company as this sort of secretary/lieutenant, and he never knew it was her. He could not recognize her. His soul had been so thoroughly mechanized that she was right in front of him, and he no longer recognized her, viewing her only as a highly efficient employee. So what he set out to get back, he kind of had all along and never knew it. So his tragedy is that he had achieved what he wanted, and yet it didn't matter anymore. What he'd become in the pursuit of achieving it started to matter more, which was conquest, taking over everything, mechanizing. That's who mechanized pop star was Mr. Haltman. So you want to talk about the fate of Earth in the Kirby universe? Earth does exist in the Kirby universe, the home world of humans that we're standing on right now, and yet it's called Shiver Star. And it's called Shiver Star in the Kirby universe because, as you can see here, it's completely frozen over to the point where it's just an ice ball. This is the planet Earth. I mean, you see it from space, right?
You see the continents.
That's Earth for sure. And it's never acknowledged in the game that it's a level within. The game was Kirby 64, I believe, and every level was its own sort of planet, just its own sort of world you travel through. And they're usually these very whimsical planets. Like there's one that's shaped like a heart. There's one that's just sort of these floating islands, I think. And then this one is just Earth, randomly out of nowhere. It's just Earth, and it's never mentioned why. And you can clearly see that it's Earth, but it's frozen over, post-apocalyptic. Like the world froze. Something we did to Earth froze it, like in that movie Snowpiercer. So the planet's layout matches Earth. It features abandoned shopping malls that you go through when you're playing this level, so you can see the evidence of humanity left behind. There's Kirby going through an empty mall within this frozen Earth. And you also see, I don't know why I didn't put a picture of it here on the Shiver Star section. There's also these creepy-ass laboratories you go through on Shiver Star where you just see these like aberrations floating in tanks. So like, what were the humans doing? What did they unleash before they were all killed? It's so interesting. So the fact that Earth is dead in the Kirby universe really sort of speaks to the Kirby universe being this place littered with fallen civilizations. Like Kirby's prized world of Popstar is the exception to the rule of entropy and decay and hubris being the price that everything pays for. It's just the one little happy jewel in this universe that's either dead or hungry to consume what is not. So, speaking of which, the Ancients. We're going to talk about the Ancients of Halcandra now. This was the precursor civilization that seems to have mastered the universe itself in their heyday, but yet they're gone. They were like gods, and now the gods are dead, and they left their tools behind them. Much was left behind by the Ancients. They were a prehistoric civilization, masters of the universe. They may have hailed from Halcandra, which was a wasteland planet in another dimension that you can find filled with their abandoned factories. I do think it's really interesting that it's called Halcandra because the name of the company that created Kirby, I believe, or at least published it, was HAL Laboratories. So that was like their little nod there, Halcandra. And the HAL company, I always thought reminded me of HAL 9000.
Yes.
Which is interesting when you think of that in the conjunction of this story. But the suffix Kandra for a planet comes from C.S. Lewis, and no one talks about this. There was the whole series C.S. Lewis wrote about the solar system where you learn the true nature and the name of every planet in the solar system. And Mars was called Malacandra. And then you got this planet called Halcandra.
Interesting.
Wow.
So every planet basically ended in Andra or Kandra, and I guess just means world. But they pulled from that naming scheme for this planet in the Kirby universe from which the Ancients hailed. And I just think that's cool. Like no one talks about it, so I'm going to mention it. I realize this. So it was split. The civilization of Halcandra became split between a faction that espoused science and a faction devoted to dark magic, a cult, if you will. There's the planet Halcandra, this floating sort of wasteland that you can visit within one of the Kirby games. It's this overflow of lava and dark machinery. And what you have on the right here is a floating planet-sized bastion that was exiled from Halcandra to contain the cult of Jambandra. That's the name of this place, another Andra. And the cult of Jamba was exiled onto this space station for their dark ways and their dark magic. The cult of Jambandra was led by Highness. That's a picture of him right here on the left. He's got his robes here covering his true face, but you do eventually see his true face. And if you want to see what that looks like, just look it up. You'll be like, whoa.
He's like a Jawa.
He is like a Jawa. Look at him there. It's like you only see these little glowing eyes. It's the same deal as Jawas or like the shy guys from Mario. You just have to wonder, like, what do those guys really look like? You never see under the mask. So he's called the Efficient of Doom, and he led the Jambastian religion, which worshipped an entity called Void. This god reincarnated into other forms throughout the ages. The influence of the Ancients may well have led to Void reincarnating many times through history in different forms chosen by the Ancients. So it's kind of like Ghostbusters. They get to choose the form that it comes. They were worshippers of dark matter, that same dark eyeball sort of sphere thing that you saw earlier. They were founded by Highness somewhere after his clan being banished and sealed away to the edge of the galaxy within the Jambandra bastion. The science-wielding Ancients were the ones that did this because they believed the pursuit of dark magic could not be allowed to be fostered within their civilization. They had to be sent away before it corrupted the lot of them. The goal of the cult was to revive Void, their god, as a form called Void Termina, which you see here. That's what Void Termina looks like, classic, just gigantic monster, destroying all in its path. And they believed Void in this form would destroy the universe because Highness wanted to use his power over dark magic, which could unleash this being, to avenge his clan. Basically just to say, if you're going to get rid of us like that, we're going to get rid of everything.
Oh my goodness.
And Void itself, when you take away the incarnations and you really get a look at it, it's basically just this sphere of probability, just this formless, celestial, abstract, omnipresent being that is described in numerous books of secrets that the Ancients had access to. Void was a neutral being that, depending on the energy gathered, could be brought into existence in a variety of forms. Void was created, some say, or maybe perhaps he created these, so chicken or the egg, the combination of all chaos and possibilities, which are dream, dark, soul, and heart. Foundation of all things within the universe, apparently.
Okay.
And when you start to see what he truly looks like as he's in his death throes here, as he's confronted here, what's that face look like?
Looks like the eye thing.
Looks like Kirby.
Oh, it does look like Kirby.
It does, yeah. I think both are correct. I think you can start to realize that everything is connected through this being, because he is sort of like Zero, just this white sphere, but yet that face is undeniably Kirby.
I first thought baby, and then I was like, wait, that's Kirby face.
Yeah, that's his face on the ultimate evil being that could destroy the whole universe. So it creates this implication, and a lot of people are torn on this, but people are debating this incessantly, because you have to start wondering, if Void reincarnates based on energy absorbed, negative energy perhaps creates horrors like that dark thing we saw, or dark matter itself could have been born from the Void by some dark energy pumped into it, and then out comes the eyeball of death. Maybe a lot was created that way, a lot of evil in the universe. But if positive energy were pumped into it instead, could that create beings like Kirby?
Yeah.
Could Kirby have been born from the primordial Void just by the Void being pumped full of something hopeful and loving instead of a wish to destroy the universe, perhaps? Very similar to the Void when you see their faces.
Yeah.
So they might be one and the
shape.
same. Yeah. Which makes you start wondering if Kirby himself is not so different from the horrors he goes up against. Kirby, he does possess incredible power. It can never be understated how powerful Kirby is. There was a game within a Kirby game once that had Kirby take a hammer or a baseball bat or something, I don't remember exactly what it was, and hit a meteor coming toward the Earth.
Oh.
The goal of that game was just to hit the meteor as far as you could, and then something would measure the speed it went. And it went so fast after Kirby hit it that, like, it's basically immeasurable. This is something beyond any capacity of us to measure in units that we know as human beings. So he has incredible strength. He can destroy the planet he's standing on just by like taking his little Kirby hand and chopping down. Like, you know that thing where you karate chop through like the stone tablets? Kirby did that once, and his chop sent a crack through the planet itself. You saw it break beneath him.
Oh my gosh.
So this thing is like strong enough to destroy everything, and yet you're playing as it just on this little quest. He defeats ancient gods as if it were just another day. Usually it's just over the simplest possible things, like ruining his nap. And it makes you start to wonder, are you really playing as this great hero? Or is he just a slightly more pure and innocent version of the same cosmic horror that he fights against? You have to think about how those who see him coming for them think of him. I mean, you just see the cuteness. They see the great devourer. There's nothing you can do. It will consume and it will destroy, and it's going to get you. So are you playing as the hero or the most powerful, incomprehensible entity of them all?
Oh my gosh.
Questions to dwell upon.
Yeah.
And we come to the end of it here, of today's Kirby lore. But I thought that was a decent buffet, if you will, of introductory Kirby lore for someone who's never heard it before, to start to understand what this universe is like as you're playing these games.
It's so complex.
Yeah, there's a lot
For
going
Kirby.
on.
Yeah, you would never think it would be this complex. Like, the Star Wars stuff makes sense that it's complex, right?
Yeah.
You think, like, it's Star Wars. This whole galaxy has complex stories happening within it. Kirby doesn't need this. This was so unnecessary. That's the thing. You could play a Kirby game with none of this and it would still just be a fun experience. And yet, they crammed it full. It's more than a lot of video games have, lore-wise. And consistent, too. Like, it builds upon itself over the years. There are things that were, like, hinted at many decades ago in past games that were finally, like, delivered upon in games more recently. Like, I didn't put it in this PowerPoint for some reason, but an interesting thing is, in a lot of the intros to a Kirby game, you'll see this little red butterfly, you know, fluttering along. It lands on his face, you know, he's just like lying there napping. He's got this little butterfly flapping on his face. And you never thought anything about the butterfly, right?
Just cute.
It's just this cute little cutscene. Many years later, it's revealed that butterfly was the disguised form of an incredibly powerful being called the Morpho Knight, who's kind of like Meta Knight as well. Same sort of thing. Knight with a sword, but he's this flaming knight with butterfly wings, like an infernal warrior. And that's what the butterfly was all along. He's also a being of wrath and judgment. So a lot of times a villain will be readying to strike, right? Kirby's about to get attacked by something. You think, oh no, we got to fight this thing. Then out from the corner of the screen, little butterfly flutters in, lands on this thing's nose, and devours it, just like immolates it instantly. And with the power that it took, it becomes Morpho Knight, who you must really fight instead. So this is something that you just see happen every now and then.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
And the butterfly was there for years. I mean, no one thought anything of it. It was in front of your face. And finally, we know now it was a god of destruction. So this is the kind of thing they'll do in these games. This is more lore than a lot. I think Kirby has more lore than Dark Souls, if you really break it down. I think
I can believe that.
there's probably a lot of games you can say don't have as much as Kirby has. So I have to ask now, like, are there any questions? Is there anything more you want to know about? Like what piques your interest? What would you want to hear about next? Is there any great lingering wonder that you have about this?
So Kirby's unique. He's not like a species.
Oh yeah, there's no other Kirbys.
Fascinating.
I mean, there's other Kirby colors that you can play as within like multiplayer games. I don't think that's so much an implication there's other Kirbys that exist as far as just like, oh yeah, you gotta have something else to play as, right? So they're not like his brothers and his siblings. He's the only one there is as far as people know. He never encountered another quite like him. Meta Knight is an interesting case for being the most like him, I suppose, because he has a mask. You have seen him take the mask off, and there's a face much like Kirby's underneath it as well.
Oh.
So it could be that that's his species or something very close to it. But no one knows the answer to that yet. That's something they haven't fulfilled. So could be anybody's guess what he is. But if I were to say what species is Kirby, I would say void.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm sold on that theory. The primordial chaos.
I mean, he eats you and you go into a void. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. It is actually Kirby lore as well that his stomach, or what you would think of as his stomach, is another dimension.
Yeah. I want to know more about, like, what happens when he eats you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the main function that you're doing.
Yeah, I think there is just an infinite void within him.
I guess I want to know about the other dimensions more, too. Because, like, we hear about the mirror. Is there other ones besides the
there
mirror?
are so many. There are so many dimensions in the cosmic hierarchy of the Kirby universe. And I want to try and order them, like put them into some kind of recognizable cosmology, but I have no idea how to even start.
Yeah.
Like Zero himself, I think, is from another dimension called the hyper zone or something to that effect. I don't know the exact terminology, but it's the hyper something. Just another world that he came from. A lot of things in Kirby just come from another world.
Yeah.
A recent game was called Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I think that was another dimension that he went to, where it was a more Earth-like planet that he was exploring.
How is he getting to these other dimensions, like, in the games? Like, does he, like, something like a portal pops up, he goes in, like, how is he getting there?
I think it's mainly portals and stuff of that like he just finds a way through. I guess reality is sort of fragile in the Kirby universe.
Well, maybe also he's a god, you know.
Yeah, he can find a way if he wants to.
I just wonder how he gets to the other planets. Like, can he fly? Like spaceship wise?
Yeah, he does have sort of a spaceship in a certain sense. Like Kirby commands this entity called the Warp Star. Oh. And it's just this yellow star, 5-pointed star.
I think I've seen that before.
And he kind of just like gets on it like the Silver Surfer, and he just goes between worlds that way.
Oh.
I wonder what the speed of it is. Like, I bet someone has calculated that.
That'd be cool. I do want to know speed.
Yeah. But that thing is probably some kind of cosmic servitor of Kirby that just like bends to his will, and he can take it through the universe to get place to place.
When he goes underwater, does he, this is just a random idea.
Yeah.
Is he like, can he breathe underwater, or do you see his cheeks puffed up like he's like holding in air? Oh,
you know what? I'm pretty sure a lot of Kirby games will have him put a snorkel on.
Okay, so
you just see him in a little snorkel.
Okay. So
he can be drowned.
Perhaps so.
So
Perhaps
he can
that's his
breathe.
weakness.
Okay, so he actually just breathe air. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Does he go to any planets where he has to put on like a little helmet, or no?
I'm trying to remember if he ever has. He can transform into a UFO. That's one of the ways he can transform. Like, the
He's
thing about
squished.
Kirby is he takes other people's power.
Yeah.
He can absorb anything and mimic its power. So one of the things he can absorb is a little UFO, and then he gets into this little UFO thing so he can go through space.
Oh.
So another way for him to be in
Okay.
space, I guess. But I don't think he's ever had trouble breathing in space or anything. I don't
Does
think
he have a weakness?
a weakness. Well, he has his vices, I'm sure. Gluttony being number
Yeah.
one. But
Because I'm like, Superman has,
yeah, he's got his kryptonite, but
yeah.
I don't think Kirby has anything like kryptonite.
Yeah, okay.
There's nothing anyone's ever used that has just overwhelmed him. Like, there's kind of nothing that stands in his way.
Okay. It's interesting.
But there's so much more we could go into.
Yeah,
Like,
I do want to
can-
hear more when you do another PowerPoint. But.
I can uncover so much more Kirby because there have been so many games, and every single one, especially these days, is just jam-packed full of new lore about something from the ancient days.
I also would like just to hear some of the storylines of some of the games eventually, because I want to hear how it goes. Oh, you ruined his nap, and then
Yeah.
like what happens to get to
Killing a god.
killing
Pretty
God.
much, yeah.
I want to hear like a full storyline,
Yeah, I think that would be fun. Do some more storytelling.
especially the craziest ones.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what the craziest one would be. Like, I can't think off the top of my head.
That's fine. Yeah, that could be a PowerPoint you'll do in the future.
Yeah, I want to do one maybe specifically about the most recent Kirby game, Air
Okay.
Riders, the one we were talking about with Rick, the hamster being
Oh
in
yeah.
it. The story of that involved the Clockwork Star. Like, you saw the Clockwork Star, Galactic Nova, the one with all the golden cogs coming out of it. The story of Air Riders was that thing just came to the planet Pop Store and hung in its orbit and just like harassed it for millennia. That's basically the story of the Air Riders, where it was used as a cosmic engine to generate these very powerful vehicle craft things. And it eventually was going to destroy the world using this plan. A lot of people say about the Clockwork Stars, they can grant wishes, and they always will. But some say they might have a malevolence within them that causes them to try to twist the wish however possible toward destruction.
Okay.
Toward just like annihilating whoever created the wish. So it's debatable whether they're good wish granters or whether they're monkey paws. But I suppose that's about that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm excited to learn more because Kirby is who I main in Smash.
Me too.
Yeah.
Kirby's the best one.
Yeah, you should know who you main, and I think Kirby has so much story behind him that you're gonna have no trouble learning.
I think it's gonna make me proud to make Kirby, like,
You
even
will be
more
proud.
so. It's not like, oh, this is like an easy little thing to do. No, I'm proud to have a god as my main.
Yeah, he is. I mean, people have calculated like, okay, there's the Smash Brothers games, and you can tell like who's the best character to play as, right? Like
Yeah.
the most effective in that game's battling system. But if people reorder it, so like by the actual canon of the series they're from, who would be the strongest? The answer is Kirby, and it's not even
Kirby.
close.
Yeah.
Like, people have made that tier list where, like, I don't know, Pac-Man or somebody's on the bottom. Like, oh, he's Pac-Man.
Yeah.
But up at the top, like, there's no competition. It's Kirby. He would destroy everyone else that went against him if they were to try to ruin his day.
Especially with that face.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, that face, he does make that face in the show. Kirby right back at you. I think there was an episode where he just became that evil Kirby.
I think I also would like to learn more about the show.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a show.
Yeah, there was a show. I watched it when I was a kid, and I
watched it.
yeah, you watched it, Adam?
Yeah, I did watch it a little bit.
Yeah, there's
Nobody would come on.
oh man, I don't remember exactly where I ever watched
I
it.
remember watching it on a Saturday morning once.
Yeah,
I remember King DDD was a bad guy. I can't remember what Meta Knight was because I don't think I had even heard who Meta Knight was at that point.
yeah, we were talking about Meta Knight being on that show and kind of sounding like Antonio Banderas. But King DDD had the greatest voice on that show too, because he just sounded like he was from the country.
Oh,
It was just like, I'm gonna get a monster to clap at that Kirby right there.
oh, that's not what I expected his voice to be.
That's what he sounds like, yeah.
I feel like I recall King DDD being in like almost every episode.
Oh, he was in it all the time. He was just messing around with the world,
He
trying
was
to.
the Team Rocket, basically.
He was.
So,
Yeah, he's not a mortal enemy. Like, he hates Kirby and wants him gone, but he's not a credible threat most of the time.
Okay.
He's just a bumbler.
Do the ancient gods show up in the show?
You never see what they look like, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
There are characters within Kirby that are connected, no doubt, to the ancient gods. Like, if we had the Officiant of Doom, of course, who might be one of them. We don't know for sure. And you had a guy called Magalore, who's another seeming remnant of the ancients, who was after something called the it was a crown. I don't remember what its actual name was, but what it was a crown with the ability to edit matter at a limitless scale. And it was left by the ancients. So he put it on and became this like godly being. So might have been connected to the ancients, seems to know their secrets. Very interesting character. A lot of people like. I don't know very much about Naga lore yet. I'm going to do some research about him if we do another Kirby episode for sure.
I'm interested to learn more.
Yes. So that leaves us plenty of places to spring off from next time we talk about Kirby. So I'm going to leave you with one question. Which universe would you be more afraid to exist within? The Star Wars Supernatural Encounters universe or the Kirby universe?
Right now, I'm more scared of a Star Wars one. But that's just because I know more about a Star Wars one. Yeah. I know too much.
When you learn about everything that's in it, it makes sense. But when you learn about everything that Kirby has in his universe, it's like, I think, even scarier.
Once we learn more, I think Kirby will slightly win. But
yeah,
I feel like I have a fighting chance in the Star Wars universe.
That's right.
I don't think I do in the Kirby universe.
What I think about Star Wars,
I can't ever go against Kirby. That's
No.
death. But I mean, that's most things. I'm going to die no matter what. That's really what it is.
Yeah, Star Wars universe, I think, like, you have the Jedi and the Celestials, right?
Yeah.
You have, like, the ultimate force of good and then the servitors they placed in that universe to, like, promulgate their will, right? So there's something that exists to dispel the evil every time it rises up from the dark. In the Kirby universe, it's just Kirby. And we don't even really understand him. Like, he's not even 100% good per se. He's just like, you interrupted his nap, so he's going to go kill. That's what everyone relies on. Like, if you're just a Waddle Dee, he could just as soon eat you. That's the thing. Like, he eats many Waddle Dees. He isn't protecting the people of his homeland. He eats them.
No, good. Okay.
So, like, the only thing you have to rely on in this hungry and desolate universe of Kirby is Kirby himself, who might just be the same as the primordial god from which all evil arises. So that's something to think upon.
Yeah. I think I'm dead either way, so
Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
I do think also, if it is a relevant question to ask, Kirby would absolutely god stomp anything in the Star Wars universe.
I can just say that. Yeah.
I think there's nothing in the Star Wars universe that would ever stand a chance against him, like Typho Gem, Eaton, everything. He would just eat or slay with the love stick or the triple star rod or just whatever he has at his bidding. Like the hypernova Kirby is a thing where he can just blast holes through reality itself. So I just don't think anything would stand a chance. Abeloth, Eaton, probably taken the ability of. I mean, man, I wouldn't want to know what Kirby would get from eating things like that. But yeah, that's the answer to that question. I'm confident in that.
Yeah, I'm confident there. But I feel like he'll kill me faster in other places. I'm dying either way in these places.
If you're in his way, he's taking your power. Unless you become his friend. He does have these like hearts he throws to people to make them his friends. So maybe he would find you friend-shaped.
You are approachable.
Oh, God.
He did have a friend. He had one human friend named Adeline, who's an artist, just like paints, just like human girl.
Maybe I stand a chance, guys.
I
stand a chance.
You could be his friend. Once you're his friend, I mean, you got a great friend protecting you.
Just don't ever wake him up from his nap. Okay.
No, if you see him sleeping, leave him. Leave him alone. That's the last thing you want to do.
Make sure he's always fed.
Yeah. And if you see a little red butterfly coming, run. Get out of there before. Don't let it land on your nose.
Don't trust red butterflies.
Well, I suppose that's about it. Thank you all for listening. I'm glad you guys enjoyed getting to learn about this Kirby lore for the first time.
More.
Mind is open and hungry, just like Kirby's mouth.
Oh, goodness.
Well, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.